The role of chip rules is mutual. Customers can't get the goods, and suppliers can't make normal shipments to earn sales. More importantly, the United States has upgraded the ban on chips, and more high-end chip products are included in the scope of the rules, and some manufacturing equipment for memory chip production needs to be licensed before they can be shipped. Under the rules, what actions have U.S. companies taken to ensure their business operations? How to get rid of the changes brought about by the rules? U.S. companies under the rules have acted. American chip companies such as Qualcomm, Nvidia, and AMD have strong chip design capabilities and can design the world's top chip processors. Qualcomm's Snapdragon, Nvidia's PTX series graphics cards, and AMD's Ryzen processors are all sold around the world. But among many consumer markets, the sales contributed by the Chinese market is the largest. Just like most of Qualcomm's Snapdragon processors are supplied to Chinese mobile phone manufacturers, 3 of the world's top 5 smartphone manufacturers are from China and are all major customers of Qualcomm. This shows how much protection the Chinese market can bring to the sales of American chip companies. There are also Nvidia graphics cards, and AMD's processor products continue to gain broad sales space based on the Chinese market. From the perspective of American companies, it is natural to hope to keep shipping. After all, no one will have a hard time with money, and it is impossible not to do the business in front of you. In the past, it was good to say, whether it is possible to do this business now depends on the ban of the rules. We all know what the United States has done to the semiconductor industry in recent years, starting from chip design, hindering EDA suppliers such as Synopsys from providing services to specific customers. EDA is software for chip design. Without the support of EDA, it is equivalent to a program. Staff lost their computers. Also in the field of chip manufacturing, EUV lithography machines cannot be shipped freely. I believe everyone has heard of the specific situation. The key is that the United States has no sign of turning back, and it is still drifting away on the wrong road, escalating the chip ban. The response of U.S. companies under the rules is very real, and they are all showing the situation of reducing the scale of business and preparing for winter. For example, Qualcomm's stock price has fallen by about 40% this year. According to Qualcomm CEO Anman, "I saw some growth slow down." This sentence indicates that Qualcomm is facing a situation in which customers reduce demand and cut orders. In the first half of the year, Qualcomm's mobile phone chip shipments decreased by more than 6 million units year-on-year, and the market share gap between Qualcomm and its competitor MediaTek became more and more obvious. Qualcomm has already switched to the development of server chips, and is optimistic about the development of industries such as smart cars and virtual reality, which shows that Qualcomm is ready to deploy more market areas and seek more opportunities. Looking at Intel's situation, Intel is also facing a decline in PC demand and plans to lay off targeted workers in November, cutting thousands of employees in sales and marketing. The reason why Intel is laying off employees is because of the sluggish revenue and financial reports. In order to cope with the decline in market demand, it can only take this step of layoffs. Both Qualcomm and Intel are adjusting the direction of their businesses and the way they operate to deal with the future in an easier way. How to get rid of the changes brought about by the rules. The world's major high-end chips are provided by US companies, and it is precisely these chips that have fallen in market demand. High-end chips have the advantages of high-end chips, but if consumers have no demand, no matter what the chip performance is, it is not much different from ordinary chip products. And the higher the performance of the chip, the higher the price will be, and it is unlikely to spend more money on the product if there is no demand. Today is different from the past. In the past, people still stocked up on graphics cards, which made it hard to find a card in the market, and Nvidia's sales rose sharply. But after the card hoarding boom dissipated, Nvidia's revenue and net profit have fallen. Many chips are showing a downward trend in the market. Some foreign media said that the general trend has been set, and if this trend continues, it is not difficult to predict what the future semiconductor market will look like. US companies are unlikely to invest heavily in high-end chips, and suppliers will also cut capital expenditures as a result. Just like TSMC has announced a 10% reduction in capital spending this year, which will reduce spending by $4 billion. $4 billion in the semiconductor industry chain, the role played is still very large. If it weren't for the rules that led to the reduction in sales of US companies, it is estimated that these conditions would not have been faced. So how to get rid of the changes brought about by the rules? This requires time to repair the missing industrial chain and allow the market to gradually return to the state of global division of labor and cooperation. Only by maintaining the original win-win rhythm of the chip production model can the impact of the rules be reduced, and suppliers and customers of all parties can re-establish a stable production and supply method. Of course, it is easy to say, but it requires the participation of all parties. If the initiators of the rules remain unwilling to turn back, there is a high probability that new methods of division of labor and cooperation will emerge in the market. The most significant point is to avoid using the technical system within the scope of the rules, and use newly developed technologies to put them into the production line. The chip industry chain is inherently integrated, and suppliers and customers are inseparable from each other. If you want to return to the original state of cooperation, you must continue to work hard in globalization, or a new supply chain will appear on the market to replace the original technology system. In any case, chip globalization is a trend, and only insisting on globalization is the optimal solution to the problem. What do you think about this? Feel free to share in the comments below.